In the once prosperous village of Chandrapur, nestled in the lush plains of ancient India, a devastating drought gripped the land. The mighty Ganges had dried to a trickle, and the fields that once thrived were now cracked and barren under the relentless sun, leaving the villagers desperate and their crops reduced to dust. 17-year-old Arjun stood at the edge of his father's barren fields, his dreams of leaving Chandrapur as lifeless as the cracked earth beneath him. Once eager to seek fortune in the grand cities of the Mauryan Empire, he had imagined glittering palaces and wealth far from the growing despair at home. But now, with his father's business failing and his mother's eyes hollow with worry, escape felt impossible. One evening, as the sun sank beneath the horizon, a new worry settled over the village. The wells, their lifeblood, were nearly dry. There were whispers of leaving Chandrapur behind, of abandoning the village to the drought's unforgiving grip. Rumors spread among the villagers of a mysterious sage, Guruji Patel, who lived in an ashram at the edge of the nearby forest. Some claimed he could summon rain with his mind, while others dismissed him as a fraud, preying on the desperate. Arjun, torn between doubt and hope, could no longer bear his helplessness. Desperation drove him to seek the Guruji's help. When Arjun arrived at the ashram, he was surprised to find not a grand temple, but a modest hut surrounded by a thriving garden, a serene oasis in the midst of desolation. Guruji Patel, a small man with twinkling eyes and a long white beard, greeted Arjun with a warm smile.
"I've been expecting you, young one."
They say you can bring rain.
"You seek the rain, but the drought you must face is not in the skies, Arjun. It lies within."
In the days that followed, Arjun became immersed in Guruji Patel's world. The sage offered no miracles or quick solutions, but instead taught him mindfulness, the practice of observing the world and himself without judgment. One afternoon, sitting beneath the shade of a large banyan tree, Guruji shared his story.
"I, too, once sought quick answers. In my youth, I believed that if I mastered the forces of nature, I could command it. But nature doesn't bend to the will of man. Instead, it teaches us balance, if we are willing to listen."
Arjun struggled with these teachings. His mind was still consumed by the images of his wilting village and the memories of his mother's face, etched with worry.
But we need rain now. Meditation won't save us from this drought.
Guruji smiled kindly, yet his eyes held an intensity that silenced Arjun's protest.
"The drought you speak of is a reflection of the disharmony within us. Your village has forgotten its connection to the earth, focusing only on taking from the land without giving back. Restore that balance, and the rains will return."
Reluctantly, Arjun began to accept the deeper meaning of Guruji's words. When he returned to Chandrapur, he gathered the village elders. His voice trembled as he spoke, but there was a fire in his heart.
We cannot wait for the rains to save us. We must save ourselves.
The elders were skeptical.
"You've spent a few days with a hermit, and now you think you can fix the drought?"
One man scoffed, others nodded in agreement. But Arjun did not waver. He explained the forgotten wisdom of their ancestors, how their relentless pursuit of wealth and expansion had stripped the land of its ability to heal.
We need to give back to the earth. Replant the forests. Conserve what little water we have. Only then can we hope for the rains to return.
The villagers resisted. They were set in their ways, clinging to the hope that the monsoon would come, as it always had. Arjun's frustration mounted as doubt crept in, and he began to question Guruji's teachings. His faith wavered in the face of uncertainty. Yet each night in silent meditation, Guruji's words echoed in his mind. The mightiest rivers begin as tiny streams. Finally, Arjun's persistence began to wear down the resistance. A few villagers, inspired by his conviction, joined him in planting trees, digging rainwater harvesting pits, and learning ancient farming techniques that preserved moisture in the soil. It was hard work and the drought still held its grip, but there was a quiet shift in the air. Hope had begun to take root. Months passed and small miracles unfolded. The newly planted trees thrived, their roots drawing in every drop of moisture. The once barren soil softened and regained its richness, while long dry springs began to trickle once more. One evening, dark clouds finally gathered over Chandrapur for the first time in years. Tentative drops of rain fell gently at first, then transformed into a steady downpour that soaked the village.
The rain has returned, but it was your spirit that truly needed replenishing, Arjun. You see, the greatest drought is not in the land, but in the soul. And you have healed both.
The young man bowed deeply, tears mixing with the rain on his cheeks.
You have shown me the path, Guruji.
No, you walked it yourself.
As Arjun returned to his village, the earth sang with the life awakened by the rains. He realized his journey was just beginning. The drought had tested not only their survival, but also their connection to nature and one another. The wisdom of his people, once forgotten, had been rediscovered, and Chandrapur was poised to become a beacon of sustainable living for generations to come. And at the heart of it all was Arjun, the boy who had sought his fortune in distant lands, only to find the greatest treasure within himself.